Well, welcome back to the channel, folks. Been a minute or two. Well, not that long. 2 weeks, I think. Maybe by the time you said 2 weeks. Back at the cabin. Man, I was gone almost 3 weeks this time. Luckily, no one had messed with it. The chickadees were and the titmouse were upset because they were out of food. They have food now. They're really happy. There's like a dozen of them out there at the feeder. Woodpeckers got the soot blocks out. The woodpeckers are happy. Everybody's happy here in the woods. Uh, One thing this new job, going back over the road, has allowed me to do is I'm not one that listens to a lot of radio. I listen to Pandora a little bit, and if I'm in my car, I have satellite radio in the car. I listen to channel 146, the Road Dog station, a little bit. About half those people on there I don't care for. Um, so I don't. A lot of times I just like turn the radio off and drive. I can drive sometimes all day long, not have radio on. So, but I got to thinking. I'm thinking about some of the stories. Again, I don't watch a lot of TV. I was in Truckers Lounge, and they was the CNN or whatever channel I had on Fox, whatever, was talking about the protest in Canada, the trucker protest. Only they weren't calling it a trucker protest; they were calling it an anti-vaccination protest. Well, anti-vaccine. That's not what they're protesting about. And all it was anti-vaccination, anti-this and anti-vaccination. They're against vaccinations. Well, that's not right. Oh, I forgot. I mean, our media is controlled through funding and subsidies through the U.S. government, but their media is owned by their government, so that's why you get that. But and I'd heard people in the lounge going, well, they just should get the vaccine and blah, 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 and all this. I'm like, y'all don't have a clue, do you? Most of the people protesting up there have already been vaccinated. It's more about there should not be a mandate to begin with, but if there are, they should have a choice, a freedom to choose. That's what the big thing is, and it's hurting their country's economy, and it's hurting some of their livelihoods, even though the majority of them are vaccinated. But you don't hear that. You hear, oh, they're anti-vaxxers, and why would you even put that out? Oh well, that's right. If you say that they're protesting because of that these mandates are hurting their country and their livelihood, then you're more likely to get the general population behind you. But if you call them anti-vaxxers, then well, that puts a whole different spin on it, doesn't it? And it's unreal with people who believe that. Well, they're just protesting because they don't want to have vaccines. Not right. That got me thinking about other things that are true versus untrue. And I've known this for years, and probably majority of y'all have known this as well. Um, we're spoon fed what they want us, and when I say they, I guess the establishment, from the news media to the government to those who pull the strings in the government and the news media, that we're force fed what they want us to believe, so that they can project, I guess, I don't know, or a certain way of thinking. Okay, it's like the one in Canada. They want you to think that those are anti-vaxxers because if the truth really came out, and the general population of Canada found out that these truck drivers are not really, most of them are vaccinated, and it's not about whether, to get the vaccine or not. Well, that could pose a whole different problem for Trudeau and his communist cronies there. So they spin that to make, you know negative. Well, same thing happens here. We got a local station that cracks me up, Channel 6 in Tulsa. We're Oklahoma grown. We're Oklahoma owned. We don't take our orders from the big city corporations like these other. Oh, wait. You're a CBS affiliate. The last time I checked, CBS is headquartered in New York City, which is a pretty large town last time I was there. In fact, it's the largest city in the U.S. and one of the largest cities in the world. But see, they don't want you to. They don't want you to think that way. They want you. They're just good old boys down here. We Oklahoma owned. We Oklahoma owned. Well, they are. But you're a CBS affiliate. Stop playing CBS programming and see how long Oklahoma grown. See how long you last. Truth is, you make a ton of money from CBS, and you will do what they say, or they'll pull their programming, and then you'll be, oh, yo, we going out of business. But oh, we're Oklahoma grown, man. It just cracks me up. And people believe. I hear people say, "Well, I watch Channel 6 because they're own Oklahoma. They don't have to take their orders from anybody else." Hello, have you noticed they're a CBS affiliate? Just saying. Pull that CBS program and let's see how long that lasts. But they won't because they make too much money from it. So CBS tells them what to play, when to play it, and they do it. So, just saying. Just this is the crazy stuff. When I open a web browser, turn my computer on, one of the first things I get is a page showing me the snippets of the headlines. I kind of like, I look, and from international news to finance to sports. I'm not into sports, but it shows me anyway. And in the last couple months, I've noticed, and I don't necessarily read the articles. I just want to kind of get the gist of what's going on in the world. And I see that their sports section, and I've noticed on several other channels, their sports section now has articles about the WWE, as in that's real sports, that's real news. I'm like, what? You got to be joking. Oh, Ronnie Reigns or something. Oh, he's doing this, and they said this, and this wrestler said this about Ronda Rousey. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be really. Even as kids, we knew that was fake. Okay. Yeah, we teenagers and early 20s and stuff. We got together on Friday nights and watched Mid-South wrestling because we loved it. We knew it was fake. I mean, obviously, anybody who's ever been in a street fight knows that crap's fake. Okay, but don't try to push it off as actual sports or actual real news. It's all scripted. It cracked me up. They would push this as something that was real and newsworthy. Money talks. And this thing with Ukraine and Russia. Of course, we don't get the real news here. You have to go to outside sources around the world like Indonesia or something like that. That's why I tell y'all want to know what's really going on in the U.S. and stuff? Watch some other countries' news, not necessarily BBC, because they're kind of hand step with most of them. I mean, although they do have some pretty interesting stories every once in a while, but Indonesian news, those Asian news agencies, you see stuff like, why aren't they reporting that in this country on our news? Oh, well, they don't want us to know stuff like that. So anyway, I'm looking at this Russia and Ukraine stuff, and maybe by the time you see this, Russia's already will have already invaded Ukraine, and our government's not done anything really. I mean, they could slap in sanctions on Russia right now, especially on their oil, and Putin would just do a double take and couldn't get the troops out of there fast enough. But Uncle Joe ain't going to do that. Last time Russia invaded Ukraine, Donald Trump was president, and Don Jr. had his hand so deep into the Russian-Ukraine involvement, oil and all that stuff that Putin knew he could just do anything he wanted to in Russia and not suffer the wrath from Donald Trump and the U.S. Wait, put the brakes on, put the brakes on. It wasn't the last time Russia invaded Ukraine, it wasn't Donald Trump president. It was Joe Biden was vice president, and what's his name was president. What the heck was his name? Hold on. I feel like I should know this. He was there 8 years. Anyway, but Joe Biden was vice president then. And Russia ended up with a couple hand slaps from our government. Obama, that's who it was. I knew that. I did. Okay, so it slipped my mind for a minute. But I knew Joe Biden was vice president last time that Russia invaded Ukraine. And now that he's president, Putin feels no threat from him. So Putin's going to do what Putin wants to do, because he'll at best receive a little hand slap from Uncle Joe if he does. Whereas we could put real sanctions on Russia and make them squeal like little pigs. No, Uncle Joe ain't going to do that, because it's really Uncle Joe and his son who's got deep ties to Russia. But we want to say, Donald Trump, he had Russian ties. Oh man, they control the vote and all. It's Trump. What do you mean us? No, don't listen to them. Don't listen. It's them. But yet, every time you're in a leadership position, Russia invades Ukraine. How does that work? So anyway, there again, it's just they want you to believe one way, and so that's what they're going to do. And really, the whole point of this is, people, do your own thinking. Don't base your decisions upon what you see on the TV or radio. There are some independent news agencies that I listen on YouTube to Sage News, SAGE News a lot. And even he, I think, sometimes doesn't get 100% of it right. And like I said, it's sad that I have to go outside this country to get news about this country and what's really happening. But you do. And so for the most part, I just don't worry about it. I mean, now that I'm in the transportation industry, I have to worry about a little bit more than when I was just out here every day. Didn't affect me out here. I don't care. I've said it before. I kind of feel like, in Alaska, they say what happens in Washington D.C. doesn't really affect them up there, so they don't worry about it that much. That's why I'm kind of out here. When I'm here all the time, it doesn't affect me. And I know the whole crap news and stuff is designed to try to give me a point of view that they want me to have. It's not just reporting the news anymore and letting you decide. I know, we report, you decide. Well, they're just as guilty as the other three. Give me the truth, then let me decide. It used to be they would report the news as the news, good, bad, or ugly, and you did make up your mind, but not anymore. Now this is the way we want you to believe, and we will mold the way you believe. And it works for like 99% of the population here in the U.S. Most of them, as long as their electric and water comes on, we just don't care. We're going to sit there and we're going to watch WWE, man, because, man, they really after. They just going after it up there. Seriously. That still cracks me up when I see those news snippets. So anyway, things are coming along pretty good. I'm of course way behind out here now, but at least I've got the funds. When I do have the time, I have the funds to work out here now and get stuff done. So I'm off for this next 4 days. I decided to take off. So because I needed to get out here and get recharged, get some quiet, peaceful time, and work on the cabin, work around. Thinking about going fishing, and then we're due to another winter storm starting tomorrow. This is really Monday. I know it's up Friday. By the time you see this, the winter storm's probably over with. But I try not to drive in this stuff. Winter storm. I've been stranded in winter storms before. It's no fun, so I tend to. This is probably got the wood stove, got plenty of firewood, got the little buddy dog. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's mad because I got onto him being in the floor when I went to do laundry. I had a big old pile of laundry stuff to do from when I was working inside with that concrete and that dust and just dust in general, tracking in and out. Everything was so I made a trip into town, big old load of laundry today, and got that done. And so I'm fixing to start doing the final touches on my chimney. I'll bring you all along for that. So anyway, I just wanted, it just kills me when I hear somebody just regurgitating what they've heard on news as fact, because it's not fact. Just, before you do that, go look at the real, you got to really dig to get the truth, and that's sad, but you do. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. I've got a ton of content on my wood stove and other stuff out here that I want to bring you, and I don't have time to edit it right now. It's been there on my laptop for months, because when I drive, we're allowed 11 hours a day. We can drive 8 hours, and we got to take a 30-minute break, and we can drive up to 11 hours. And I'm not as young as I used to be, and I can't stay in that seat for 8 hours straight anymore. Everybody says, well, it's just driving. Well, I used to drive a lot longer than that with one stretch. So I break it up with me. Usually after 6 to 8 hours in that seat, I'm pretty much ready to go to bed. I'm tired. It's getting better now. My conditioning's getting better. Able to stay in the seat longer stretches. But when I'm done, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm going to lay down. I'm tired, so I don't have a lot of time to edit. But I am getting it out. I will get it out. So I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. I appreciate your liking, subscribing, sharing the videos. Some of these videos y'all are sharing the crap out of, and it's really making a difference, and I appreciate it. So before this one gets too long, and like I said, this is actually Monday. I was going to do it like Friday as usual, but you'll probably see it on this coming Friday. Still appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all stay safe and be productive this year, and just have a good old time. Hug your friends and family and let them know you love them. Donald, 1 Acre Homesteader, I'm out of here.